On a cold January evening in Glendale, California, what began as a routine welfare check would unveil one of the most shocking domestic violence cases the quiet suburb had seen in years. The story of Andrew and Mayra Jimenez, a firefighter and a beloved elementary school teacher, would shake their community to its core and raise troubling questions about what can lurk behind closed doors, even in seemingly stable marriages. It was January 21st when 45-year-old Andrew Jimenez approached a group of police officers outside a local station. Jimenez flagged down the passing officers with what seemed like genuine concern etched across his face. He told them he hadn't heard from his wife and requested they conduct a welfare check at their home. The officers, responding to what appeared to be a worried husband's plea, made their way to the Jimenez residence. What they found inside would transform Andrew Jimenez from a concerned spouse into the prime suspect in a brutal homicide. Upon entering the home, officers discovered 55-year-old Mayra Jimenez lying motionless. She had sustained severe injuries, consistent with blunt force trauma. Despite the officers' immediate response, Mayra was not breathing. Paramedics arrived quickly, but it was already too late. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The brutality of the attack was immediately apparent to investigators. As they began processing the crime scene, they discovered a chilling piece of evidence: an axe. Investigators believe Mayra Jimenez had been bludgeoned to death with this very weapon. The violence of the attack suggested a crime of passion, an explosion of rage that had ended in tragedy. To understand the full weight of this tragedy, one must first understand who Mayra Jimenez was to her community. She wasn't just a victim, she was a pillar of her neighborhood, someone who had dedicated her life to helping others. Mayra worked as an elementary school teacher, shaping young minds and touching countless lives throughout her career. Colleagues and parents alike remembered her as dedicated, patient, and genuinely invested in her students' success. Beyond her work in the classroom, she had also served as a non-denominational minister, officiating weddings and helping couples begin their own journeys together, an ironic detail given the tragic end of her own marriage. Friends described her as vibrant and passionate. She was a devoted fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers, often seen wearing team colors and cheering enthusiastically during baseball season. Those who knew her spoke of her warm smile, her infectious laugh, and her ability to make everyone around her feel valued and heard. She was, by all accounts, someone who brought light into the lives of others. Mayra and Andrew had been married for approximately 10 years. From the outside, they seemed like a successful couple, both in careers dedicated to public service, both respected in their fields. But as investigators would soon learn, the reality behind their closed doors told a very different story. Andrew Jimenez had his own distinguished career in public service. He was an off-duty paramedic and firefighter with the Glendale Fire Department, where he had served since 2008. For 17 years, he had been a first responder, someone the community relied on in their moments of greatest need. He had saved lives, fought fires, and provided emergency medical care to countless residents. His colleagues knew him as competent and reliable. He had built a reputation over nearly 2 decades of service. The idea that this same man, someone trained to protect and save lives, could be capable of such violence seemed incomprehensible to many who knew him professionally. Investigators quickly determined that this was a domestic violence incident. The attack had occurred in the privacy of their home, away from the public personas both Andrew and Mayra maintained in their professional lives. As is often the case with domestic violence, the abuse occurred behind closed doors, hidden from neighbors, colleagues, and friends who might never have suspected the darkness growing within their relationship. In the days following Mayra's death, Andrew Jimenez's attorney released a statement that would add another layer of complexity to an already tragic case. The statement suggested that Andrew had discovered his wife was having an affair, and that this discovery had occurred just moments before the homicide. The attorney's statement read, "Our office is currently in contact with law enforcement regarding a diary of the decedent, apparently read moments before the homicide, that verified infidelity by the decedent. If true, this timeline paints a devastating picture. A husband discovering evidence of his wife's affair, a rush of emotions, betrayal, anger, hurt, and then an explosion of violence that ended in death. However, it's crucial to note that even if the affair was real, it in no way justifies or excuses the violence that followed. Infidelity, while painful and destructive to a marriage, is never a justification for murder. Experts in domestic violence often point out that claims of infidelity are sometimes used to deflect blame or generate sympathy for the perpetrator, shifting focus from the violence itself to the victim's alleged behavior. The investigation into this claim would become part of the broader case, with law enforcement examining the diary and any other evidence that might shed light on the state of the Jimenez marriage in the days and weeks leading up to Mayra's death. Following his arrest, Andrew Jimenez was booked into jail on suspicion of murder. The severity of the charges was reflected in his bail, which was set at $2 million, an amount that underscored both the seriousness of the crime and concerns that he might pose a flight risk. The city of Glendale moved quickly to distance itself from its longtime employee. According to KTTV, Jimenez was immediately placed on administrative leave from the Glendale Fire Department. This standard procedure in cases involving serious criminal charges allowed the department to suspend him while the investigation continued, without making a final determination about his employment status. For the fire department, the situation was unprecedented and deeply troubling. They had lost not only a longtime member of their team, but the very nature of the alleged crime, a violent domestic homicide, contradicted everything firefighters are supposed to represent: protection, service, and saving lives. News of Mayra's death and Andrew's arrest sent shockwaves through the Glendale community. Parents at the elementary school where Mayra taught struggled to explain to their children why their beloved teacher wouldn't be returning to the classroom. Colleagues mourned the loss of a friend and mentor. The wedding couples she had married were left to grapple with the tragic irony that someone who had celebrated their unions with such joy had met such a violent end in her own marriage. Friends of both Andrew and Mayra found themselves caught in an impossible position, mourning the loss of one friend while trying to reconcile the arrest of another. Some struggled to believe that the Andrew they knew could be capable of such brutality. Others began to re-examine past interactions, wondering if there had been subtle signs of trouble in the marriage that they had missed or dismissed. The Jimenez case, while shocking in its particulars, fits into a broader and deeply troubling pattern of domestic violence in America. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, an average of 3 women are murdered by their intimate partners every day in the United States. While domestic violence crosses all socioeconomic, educational, and professional boundaries, cases involving first responders can be particularly complex. Studies have shown that the high-stress nature of firefighting and emergency response work can contribute to mental health challenges, including PTSD, depression, and difficulty managing emotions. While these factors never excuse violence, they provide context for understanding why some individuals in high-stress professions may struggle with anger management and relationship issues. Additionally, research has indicated that law enforcement and first responder families may face unique challenges when it comes to domestic violence. Victims may feel reluctant to report abuse committed by someone in a position of authority or public trust. There can be concerns about whether the system will adequately hold someone in these professions accountable, or whether professional loyalty might influence the investigation. As of the time of the initial reports, the investigation into Mayra Jimenez's death remained ongoing. Detectives were working to build a comprehensive timeline of events, examining physical evidence from the scene, interviewing neighbors and family members, and reviewing any documentation, including the diary mentioned by Andrew's attorney, that might provide insight into the couple's relationship and the events leading up to the murder. Forensic experts would have carefully examined the axe found at the scene, looking for fingerprints, blood evidence, and any other traces that might conclusively link it to the attack. The medical examiner's report would provide crucial details about the exact nature and extent of Mayra's injuries, which could help establish whether the attack was premeditated or occurred in a moment of explosive rage. As Andrew Jimenez awaits trial, held on $2 million bail, the Glendale community continues to process the tragedy. Mayra's students, colleagues, and the many couples whose weddings she officiated are left to mourn a woman whose life was dedicated to nurturing, teaching, and celebrating love, only to have her own life end in violence. The case serves as a stark reminder that domestic violence can affect anyone, regardless of profession, education, or social status. It highlights the importance of recognizing warning signs, taking threats seriously, and ensuring that victims have access to resources and support systems that can help them escape dangerous situations before they turn deadly. For the Glendale Fire Department and the broader first responder community, the case raises questions about how to better support the mental health of those in high-stress emergency response roles, and how to ensure that warning signs of domestic violence don't go unaddressed, even when the alleged abuser is someone in a position of public trust. As the legal process moves forward, one truth remains certain: a vibrant, beloved teacher and minister is gone, her life cut short in an act of violence that has left a community grieving and searching for answers that may never fully explain such a senseless loss.